The Battle of Crimson Nebula ended with humanity's Seventh Fleet scattered like debris and Sergeant Malik Torres crash landing on a dying Zorathian command vessel. Emergency lighting flickered through corridors that reeked of ozone and alien blood, hull breaches screaming atmosphere into the void. He needed an escape pod fast before the ship tore itself apart. He found the throne chamber instead. High Matriarch Syvenne, leader of the species that had devoured 6 civilizations in a decade, lay trapped beneath collapsed support beams, her crystalline exoskeleton cracked, royal guard dead around her. Malik's rifle came up on instinct. One shot. End the war, become a hero. She watched him without begging, without offering deals. Just met his eyes with alien dignity and waited for his choice. Malik lowered the rifle and grabbed the beams. His training screamed at him, called him an idiot, promised he'd regret this. He pulled her free anyway, dragged her to his salvaged escape pod, punched coordinates for neutral territory. The pod launched as the command vessel fragmented behind them, taking the battle's outcome into fire and silence. 3 days in a cramped pod with the enemy who'd killed millions of his species. Syvenne studied him with multifaceted eyes that reflected light like fractured diamonds. Why preserve your enemy? Malik didn't have a good answer beyond exhaustion with killing, so he stayed quiet and hoped he hadn't just made the stupidest decision of his life. Outside the viewport, stars wheeled indifferent to human or Zorathian concerns, and the universe kept not caring about any of them. Waystation Epsilon handled the diplomatic chaos with practiced efficiency. News of Malik's rescue spread instantly, the human sergeant who saved the Zorathian queen when he could have ended everything. Military commanders demanded explanations. Diplomats scrambled for advantage. Malik just wanted sleep and to stop being stared at like a curiosity. Syvenne invoked ancient law instead, life debt protocol. He'd saved her when logic screamed otherwise. By Zorathian tradition, he'd earned the right of wish, anything within her considerable power to grant. The ceremony was broadcast across known space. Syvenne stood in the central amphitheater, her crystalline form catching light like a walking prism, and addressed Malik formally. Name your desire, human, wealth beyond measure, command of fleets, biological immortality. Our science can reshape matter, extend life, create wonders your species hasn't imagined. Speak your wish. Everyone expected something grand. Leverage for humanity, personal gain, strategic advantage. Malik looked at her, at the assembled alien representatives, at centuries of species tearing at each other like animals. I wish for your people to feel compassion, to understand empathy, feeling another's pain as your own, not as weakness, as strength. The chamber went silent. It was the one thing Zorathian biology had never possessed, the one gift that would change everything about what they were. Syvenne's crystalline eyes widened, her entire body language shifting into something that might have been shock. For the first time in her long existence, the High Matriarch had no immediate response. She'd offered him the galaxy. He'd asked her to feel it instead. Syvenne convened her greatest minds, biological engineers, philosophers, neural architects who'd built the hive mind that made Zorathian civilization possible. She presented them with impossible instructions: reverse engineer human empathy and integrate it into Zorathian consciousness without destroying what they were. The council argued it couldn't be done. Zorathian neural architecture had evolved for efficiency, logical calculation, hive coordination. Emotion beyond basic survival responses would destabilize everything. But Syvenne had made a sacred vow, and she kept her word. Malik remained on the way station, watching Zorathian science dissect human emotional capacity like mechanics tearing down an engine. Syvenne visited frequently, asking questions that revealed the vast gap between their species. Why weaken yourself by feeling enemy pain? Because understanding pain means understanding when to stop causing it. Malik sat across from her in the observation garden, earth plants mixing with crystalline Zorathian flora. Empathy isn't weakness. It's what prevents strong species from becoming monsters. We are already monsters by your definition. We've consumed civilizations. Yeah, and now you get to feel that weight. Consider it a gift. Something shifted behind her multifaceted eyes. Not understanding yet, but the beginning of grasping how profoundly his wish would transform her people. She left that evening without speaking, and Malik wondered if he just sentenced an entire species to psychological collapse. Too late for regrets now. The engineers were already synthesizing the neural catalyst. The compassion integration ceremony drew billions of viewers across the galaxy. Zorathian scientists had created a biological agent that would rewrite core emotional processing, irreversible once administered. Syvenne took it first, leader-proving commitment, showing her people the path forward. The change hit like a hammer. For the first time in her existence, she felt the weight of every life her wars had consumed, the pain she'd ordered inflicted, civilizations burning under her command. The empathic onslaught dropped her to her knees, crystalline body shaking. Malik caught her, held her through the transformation. "This is agony," she gasped, her voice fracturing. "Yes, that's step one. Step two is learning to carry it and still choose kindness." The catalyst spread through the Zorathian collective over weeks, millions experiencing empathy's sudden crash. Some minds shattered under the weight. Others adapted, began understanding what they'd been. The war didn't end cleanly. Factions rejected the change, saw compassion as contamination. But slowly, inexorably, Zorathian culture transformed. They negotiated peace, began reparations, turned brilliant science toward healing instead of conquest. Syvenne became architect of her species' redemption, carrying the crushing weight of her past while building something better. A year later, she found Malik in the garden. Why choose this over wealth or power? His answer was simple. Because the galaxy doesn't need more resources. It needs people who give a damn about each other. Syvenne, who could now feel the profound gift he'd given her species, did something Zorathians never did before. She wept in gratitude. And across the galaxy, humanity's reputation shifted, from clever survivors to the species that proved compassionate.